MGTOW, IBMOR Warrior. Today I'd like to make a part 2 to my ATL Orgy video. And this video will be entitled ATL Orgy Part 2, Should You Attend Sex Parties? Now before I get into the meat of this video, as the Honorable David Carroll would say, there's a few things I need to say up front that will serve as the intro to this masterpiece. Now, what I need to say up front is that I got to change a few of my statements from the part 1 video because the bitch came on Facebook Live, the bitch that promoted the party came on Facebook Live and apparently set the record straight that she was at the party, there was bitches there, and there was fucking going on. Now, I don't know how true that is or not. Whatever, that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. I want to shift the focus in this video to, as a man, as a black man, or as any man, should you attend sex parties? Now, I am what you would call a degenerate. Okay, I am a deviant person. Okay, and I've been to sex parties. Now, if you're gonna go to sex parties, I want to give you a little education on how to move in that world, if you will. Now, I'm not an expert on this shit because I've only been to 3 sex parties. I went to one BDSM party and then I went to a swinger party twice. Okay, but there's a few reasons why I would not have gone to this so-called ATL orgy. I personally would not have gone to this particular party for a few reasons. Number one, they charge too damn much. $175, there's no way in fuck I was paying that. There's no way in fuck I was gonna pay that. Okay. The BDSM party that I went to, I paid $20, and the swinger party that I went to twice, I paid $40. There's no way in fuck I'm gonna pay $175. I could just get an escort for that and cut out the middleman of the fucking party and get full fucking service, nigga. Not that I would know about that either. You feel what I'm talking about? So that's the first thing of why I wouldn't have gone to this bullshit. Second thing is the way they promoted it, okay? This bitch was all over Facebook and Twitter and Periscope and YouTube and on radio stations. Bitch, you making the block too hot. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to open the door for motherfuckers to come to the party that's not really about that life. You opening the door for motherfuckers to come to the party that's not really about that life. You feel me? So that shit is just mad raggedy to me, the way the bitch promoted it. It was more so to get herself attention than anything. Because any motherfucker who's throwing a real sex party doesn't promote their shit like that. Okay. So that's the second motherfucking reason. Y'all gotta watch out for that shit. So there's no way I would have gone to that shit. Now, I'm gonna talk about the couple sex parties that I did go to. The BDSM party I went to, I found out through FetLife, the website FetLife. Now, I didn't really enjoy this BDSM party, nor am I a huge fan of FetLife. I've been on FetLife for years, but I'm not a huge fan of it, just because not only of how the site is structured, but also, you know, how bitches act. Bitches act mad bougie on that site when they be showing themselves with their titties with nipple clamps and, they pussy and all that other shit on there, but then they act mad bougie toward niggas. You know what I'm saying? This site is mad weird. And it's the whole BDSM community in general. I'm not a fan of it, even though I like a lot of really wild, kinky shit. And that's another thing too about the BDSM community that I don't like, is that they hijacked this word kink and this word kinky. To me, kinky doesn't automatically equate to BDSM. But BDSM has sort of hijacked that word. And BDSM has sort of hijacked like freaky and kinky shit to mean what their shit is. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, the other thing I don't like about the BDSM community is that feminism has completely taken over the BDSM community. Like, one thing I could say about the swinger community is that, like, feminism hasn't really taken over the swinging community. The swinging community is still somewhat patriarchal, you know what I'm saying, which is a good thing. Now, the swinging community isn't perfect at all. The swinging community has its problems too. But at least the swinging community has not been completely overtaken by feminism like the BDSM community. But anyway, so the BDSM party I went to, the thing that had in common with both parties was that I actually spoke to people from the event who are regulars at the event before going. That's like the thing that I did for both of those parties. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of nigga to just go into something blind. And if you're thinking about attending the sex party, I wouldn't advise you to do that either. So for the FetLife BDSM event, first of all, I'm not going to say the name of the event because it's in a major city, and it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's the largest monthly BDSM event in that city. So I'm not even going to put the shit on blast, but basically I found out about on FetLife, and in the BDSM community they have these things called munches. And a munch is when you get together with other people, other like-minded kinksters, so to speak, and y'all just go out to a restaurant or a diner and just kick it on some non-sexual shit before you even get into the sexual like part of it. So the night before the event, they had a munch at a diner, and it was just you know, we had like our own little section in the back of the diner, and motherfuckers was just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers was just kicking it. And people was introducing themselves. It was cool. It's not as awkward as it sounds. Because when I first walked up to the motherfucker, I thought it was gonna be mad awkward, but it was actually not. And you know what I'm saying? I talked to people from it and was kind of getting a feel for the whole situation, and actually like I met up with these two old heads, like not on no homo shit, but like these two old heads, but like the night of the event, like I met up with them so we could roll in there together, so like we wasn't rolling up in there alone or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So me and the two old heads, like we rolled up in there and shit with the event. And like the event was interesting, man. The BDSM event was interesting. Now, first of all, at this particular BDSM event, this was not an on-premise event in terms of like having sex. Like, no, there was no sex allowed. You could be as naked as you wanted at this event. So people was walking around butt naked. Like you could be as butt naked as you want, but there was no penetration allowed. That was like the one rule. You know what I mean? So really the whole thing was a cock tease, really. But there was a lot of wild shit going on. There was motherfuckers getting whoopings. There was motherfuckers getting set on fire. There was motherfuckers grappling and wrestling. There was motherfuckers getting choked and tied up. There was all types of wild shit happening. There was a spank off contest. You know what I'm saying? White bitches with blue, purple asses after getting spanked and shit. The shit was wild, bro. Shit was mad wild. And what was crazy is like I was heavy into OkCupid at the time, and nigga, I seen so many bitches I've recognized from OkCupid at that motherfucker, yo. That shit was bugged out. You know what I mean? Bitches whose faces I recognized from OkCupid was there with their titties out, everything, man. Shit was wild, son. Shit was mad wild. But I didn't really enjoy it too much. It was a tease to me. You know what I'm saying? It was mostly a tease, and you know, I did try to talk to a couple bitches there, but once again, even in person, those FetLife bitches are mad bougie. Like the FetLife bitches are mad bougie, like, and not in a good way. You know what I'm saying? They're mad Hollywood, and they're hoes. They're straight up open hoes, but they're Hollywood. Like that shit is bugged out to me. You know what I mean? That shit is mad bugged out to me, and it's a real feminist type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the rules was on some real bullshit. Like don't you know, like don't talk to a girl like if she don't want to or what. Like it was just some mad dumbass rules that they had. Like a lot of feminist shit. You know what I mean? And I wasn't with that shit. I wasn't with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But at least I wasn't caught in a bad situation because I had met up with a lot of the people, and I had met some of the people from the event beforehand. So I wasn't caught in a bad situation. I knew the type of situation I was getting into before I got there. So at the end of the day, like, I was safe. You know what I mean? And that's really, at the end of the day, what was what I was safe. I didn't lose that much money. You know what I'm saying? And even though I didn't have that great of a time, like, I didn't get into any bad situations because I knew what I was getting into beforehand because I met up with some of the people. Now, the swinger party I went to, this was a Queen of Spades party, okay, and it was a Queen of Spades party. And if you don't know what a Queen of Spades is, it's basically a white bitch who has a strong sexual fetish for black niggas. Now, I refuse to date bitches like that, but a house with a bunch of those bitches that are trying to fuck, and only for $40, shit. I mean, I was all over that. I'm not even gonna sit here and fucking lie to you, okay? I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. Tell the truth and shame the motherfucking devil. You feel what I'm talking about? So I found about this through a website called Swing Lifestyle. Now, I like Swing Lifestyle better than FetLife because, once again, I think the Swing Lifestyle is less influenced by feminism than the BDSM lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And the Swing Lifestyle is a little more down to earth. You know what I'm saying? They're a little more down to earth. The swingers still have their problems. The swingers definitely still have their problems. Let's not get it fucked up, but they're a lot less annoying to deal with than the BDSM crowd. And so I went. Well, okay. Before I went to the event, I actually started talking to this chick from there, and that's how I found out about the event. I started talking to this white John from there, and come to find out, she runs this party. So I started talking to this chick on that site on Swing Lifestyle, and the conversation was very sexual. Like, we were texting for like a few days, and she was sending me nudes and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was really talking on that type shit, and she was telling me like about how she runs a Queen of Spades party like at her house, whatever, whoop de whoop. And so like I found out about it through her. And like I got the verification through her of like kind of like how shit moves, and you know what I'm saying. I still had to be a little wary just because I was going to a house, and she was kind of the only verification I had on it. Even though I talked to her for a long time, I still had to be a little wary of it. But the fact that I mostly knew what I was getting into made me feel relatively safe. You know what I'm saying? I went in there, and I'm gonna hold you, man. I had a great time. You know what I'm saying? The first night, the first time I went, I think both times I went, I think I smashed 2 joints. I think the first time I went, I might have smashed like 3 joints. The first time I went, I mean, the first time I went, that shit was wild. It was in October the first time I went. Not this past October, but the October before that. And it was a Halloween themed type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And I showed up in a toga and a motherfucking crown like I was Julius Caesar and shit. And the bitches loved that. The bitches was all over that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I definitely got my rocks off like multiple times for $40, and you can't beat that. The only reason I haven't been back more than twice is because it's a little far away from me. Like, it's a little far of a drive, and like the far drive plus spending $40, like, to me, it's not that deep. Like, I'm not that horny. I could just jerk off. But, you know what I'm saying? It was a good time, though. I ain't even gonna fucking hold you. That shit was a good time. You know what I mean? So, the moral of the story is, if you're gonna do the sex parties thing, if you're gonna be a degenerate like me and do fucking deplorable shit, at least, safety first, number one. Number 2, don't be a dumbass and spend a whole gang of money, nigga. Like, if you're gonna be spending a whole gang of money, just get an escort. Like, that's why I don't understand strip clubs. I don't understand how niggas go to strip clubs. Like, niggas go to strip clubs really to impress other niggas. Because all that throwing money and shit, what is that shit for? That's to impress other niggas. Like, you know, just take your money. If you're gonna spend that much money on some ass that you're not even getting, nigga, even if it's on some ass you are getting, nigga, just skip the middleman and order a fucking prostitute. I don't understand niggas. You know what I'm saying? So number one, don't spend a whole gang of money like these niggas did for the so-called ATL orgy. Number two, do your fucking homework on the event. You know what I'm saying? And don't go to no fucking over-promoted events like the one this bitch had. Because, you know, the events that I had was you know, only promoted on these very niche websites. You know what I'm saying? And even then, some of those you have to be plugged into. Even on some of the niche websites, even those you have to be plugged into by personal word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. So, and if they do that for a number of reasons. Number one, to keep the ratio good of women to men. And what the bitch from the ATL orgy tried to do was even out the ratio by overcharging men, but you fix the ratio by being selective, not by overcharging niggas. You know what I'm saying? You fix the ratio by not over promoting the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, but like I said, when you promote on square platforms all crazy like that, you're gonna bring people in who are not about that life. You know what I'm saying? Like when I went to that swinger party those 2 times, like the first time I went, like I was scared that I was gonna go. Actually, both times I went, I was scared I was gonna go and not get any ass. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a 6 foot tall ripped nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? But I went and I got plenty of ass. Why? Because number one, it's not a heavily promoted event, so the bitches are not gonna be self-conscious that they're gonna be so-called exposed when they're in there fucking. Number one. And number two, okay, the people who are at the event are people who are really about that life, because you have to be really about that life to even know about such an event. The ATL orgy was something that all the square niggas and square bitches knew about. So it was gonna be some people in there who wasn't really about that. And that's gonna fuck up the event. But anyway, I've been rambling on here for too long. I just wanted to give y'all the game about the sex parties. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. I just gave y'all niggas the game on the sex parties. Do with it what you will. Anyway, MGTOW IBMOR Warrior. I'm out this bitch.